Joining me today, I have the one and only Wednesday 13, who is about to embark on an Australian tour in support of his mid-death crisis release from April of this year. He's on the road with Australia's own Kim Dracula, set to play a series of 5 shows across the country from mid to late November this year. Welcome to the Rockpit Wednesday 13, and welcome to Australia again. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Now you're heading back down under, which is always great news for me as a fan. Mid Death Crisis is still sitting there as one of my favourite albums of this year. It's
Thank you.
glad to see you back out in this neck of the woods. You obviously have quite a strong connection with Australia. What is it about Australia that makes it so special for you?
They like me. I don't know why, but Australia loves Wednesday 13, and I have been blessed with an awesome audience and fan base there. It's been dedicated. It's been consistent since 2010. I've been visiting Australia I think almost every year except for when COVID hit. That knocked me out for just a bit, but I've been back in 22 and 24, and now we're back in 25. So it only knocked us out for just for 2 years, but I think every year, 2010, 11, 12, all the way up to 19, we were in Australia and on every record, and with the Big Day Out festival with Murder Dolls years ago, Soundwave with Wednesday and Murder Dolls. I played in front of the country, so and they always come back for me.
Absolutely, and I think your continued support of coming back to Australia has just absolutely paid off in spades. Now, with this tour, will we see an extension of what's been happening through and what will happen through Europe over the coming month before you end up here? Same sort of set list, same introduction of 4 songs from Mid Death Crisis into the set.
At the moment, yeah, we have the 4 video singles that we released will be included in the live set. I'm still finding out exactly all the details for Australia and what our set list. I was told recently that we're doing a headline set as well. Even though we are opening the show, we still get a headline length of a set. So that's awesome. So hopefully it will be exactly what we're doing in Europe, which is my favorite set list that I've done in a very long time. Like I said, it covers the four singles off the new record, but it's very heavily favored in the my first record, Transylvania 90210, which was 20 years this year. So I've been sort of celebrating it, but I realized that record's got all the gems on it. It's got all the favorite tracks from beginning to the very end. Everyone's like, "That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song." So we're playing half of that record, and then we've got a little bit of the history sprinkled in with everything from my other records, including Murder Dolls and Frankenstein Drag Queens as well. So I try to cover the whole catalog. It's hard to do these days with so many records, and but I feel this set list is very fun, and it's my favorite one I've done in a while. I normally change it, but I keeping it very similar to what we did earlier in the summer this year because it was just a cool set list. It flowed well.
It does flow well. I mean, and as you said, there is something for everybody in there. I mean, 1976 is one of my favorites from Frankenstein era, as well as obviously the show closer. I love to say fuck, which is just a
Mhm.
crowd and a fan favorite. Bringing out the tracks from Mid Death Crisis. How do you find that they fit with some of this early stuff? I mean, how do you see this set as a journey, as a musical journey? Is it pretty concise, and is there, from your point of view, a definite evolution of what you've done as an artist?
It's crazy because it's album number 10. It's 20 years of doing this, and from all the records and all the experimenting around with different sounds and stuff in the later records. This new album really just kind of went back to where it all began for me. I just went back to my same mindset from Transylvania, that same sort of style. So these new songs fit perfectly with the Transylvania music, and the last Murder Dolls record, especially those, it just fits. So um, I think, looking back on my career at this moment in my life and where my brain is, when I look back on my career, there's not anything I'm ashamed of, or I love all of my records, but I think what makes me what I do and makes it special what I do is this simple rock and roll thing I kind of did in the very beginning. Over the years I experimented. The last few records were a little heavier, but that didn't really separate us from everything else out there. It just made it. And what separates Wednesday 13, I think, looking at trying to look at it from an outside point of view, is that those songs like Decapitation, for example, on the new record, that is Wednesday 13. That is perfectly Wednesday 13. There's nothing else that sounds like that you can compare it to right away. That's me. And
Yeah.
that's my style that I need, that I want to focus on around. So the next album is going to be focused around that style, which is what I think makes me special, you know?
It's funny you mentioned Decapitation because that's probably my favorite track, my personal favorite track from Mid Death Crisis. It's just got that hook, that catch, that swing to the swagger to it. I guess that Wednesday 13 swagger to it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm hoping to do a video for that before. But I'm gonna make one more video for the record, and that's been planned to do. And I want to make a little mini horror film with it. So it's taking a little bit more work than I thought to get the idea going. But I'm going to try to do it. Fingers crossed, it'll be out maybe after the Australia tour.
oh wow, that's super exciting. I can't wait to see what you come up with that. And knowing your love of horror and the whole thematic thing there, it's going to be a little masterpiece, I'm sure. Now, speaking of horror movies, we're approaching Halloween. How does Wednesday 13 spend his Halloween?
On stage. That's where I've been for. I mean, I was actually trying to do the math last night, going, where have I been for Halloween for the last 20 years? And I was literally trying to count. It's always on stage. I've had, maybe in 2019, I had my first Halloween off in probably a decade. But I'm always playing shows, and that's honestly, that's where I want to be. That's my night. That's my night where I'm like Santa Claus to everybody. I'm Jack Skellington. I'm the Duke of Spook, extra special on that night. It just means something to be at our show on Halloween. And as much as I love the spirit of Halloween and watching, like, or being a person that hands out candy to trick-or-treaters or whatever, I miss that, but nothing is as cool as being on stage and being like the master of Halloween, which is, I get to do it once a year, and it's special for me. And this year we're in Germany, our first Halloween in Germany that I can ever remember, maybe since Murder Doll days. So it's going to be extra cool there.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to touring with Kim Dracula,
Mhm.
how did that come to be? I mean, how did you come to become involved with Kim Dracula?
I really don't know how the name got brought up. The funny thing is I heard the name Kim Dracula, and I'm trying to do the math on when I heard it, because I don't know how long he's been on the scene, but I feel like maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I heard the name Kim Dracula, and instantly I'm gonna check anything out with the name Dracula in it. That's my nature. And I was pleasantly surprised with his imagery and the madness of what he's created in his videos. And I just remember showing it to my band and went, check this dude out. And we were like, whoa, okay. And I think we may have played a festival that he was on, and we were going to go try to make it to a stage. We didn't make it there in time, or something like that. I don't remember, but either way, long story short, agent called me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in going to Australia with Kim Dracula?" And I went, "Yeah." That's literally how it happened. And he and I have spoke through messages on online, and he's a fan of the band, and we're really excited to do this, and it's gonna be a cool tour. Just a mix of the audience is perfect. That's what I'm out to do. I do well in Australia with my own audience, but I'm always looking out to get new people to see us, because I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm your favorite band. You just don't know it. You haven't heard us. Give us, and it's so that's the fun thing about being or doing a support tour and not necessarily being the headliner every time, is winning new people over.
And I guess if we talk about the tour that you're on at the moment,
Hmm.
from the last time you played Australia and obviously the introduction of this tour, what's changed from a stage perspective? Is there anything that's changed production wise, and will there be any of it that'll be coming to Australia?
Unfortunately, we don't get to bring the big toys to Australia, but just the band is just on our wavelength, our vibe is just really good right now. I think we're a better band. We're playing better. Everybody is happy to be there, and it shows. It shows. I think I have this, like for me, like if I look back on my career, and like most people in their career, if you look back to someone in their 20s and when they first started and go, oh man, that's his prime. He's been good over the years, but his 20s with the first record, that's when he was in his prime. When I look back on my first record, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Do it better. And I just been kicking my ass for 20 years, and I feel like I am a 100 times better performer on stage. I am a better vocalist. I can sing the songs just like the record now and not barking my voice out. I just I know how to do it. It's maybe taken me 20 years to figure it the fuck out, but I know how to do it now. So I'm at the top of my game. Whereas people usually this late in their middle of their career at this time, they're like, "Oh, I'm just, getting by." But no, I'm doing loops around my younger self, and that's what drives me. And I think it shows. People tell me that every night when I walk off stage, they're like, "Your energy is insane."
I mean, I love seeing you guys too, and that's half the appeal too. Not only does the music have a great energy, but from a live perspective, you guys as a band are just incredible. There's such a huge amount of energy and sort of that transfers straight into the crowd. And you was a
Well,
front.
that's why it works in Australia, because we can't bring our production. So
Yeah.
we are the production. We are the pyro. We are the lights. We are the fog. And that's the way Twisted Sister went on stage. They didn't have a light show. They didn't have anything. They had D. Snyder and a army behind him, and it was and that's my mentality on how I command the stage. But when you've got production behind that as well, it's a force to be reckoned with.
No, absolutely. But I mean, again, as I said, every show I've seen of you guys live, it's just it gets better every tour. I swear to God, every tour
Thank
is
you.
something
Thank you. And we're
extra.
back with a new guitarist this time. So it's
Absolutely, that was my next
yeah,
thing. So how's the new lineup working?
killer. Our drummer is back. Mike, our drummer who played on the new record, he had to set a couple tours out because his son was battling cancer, and so his son is out of treatment now, and things are
Fantastic.
looking upwards with that, and he's back, and it's just having him back has brought just he's such a good dude, and he makes my band sound like I want it to sound. And our new guitar player Ashes, he and I are really close friends, and he fits the band perfectly. I couldn't have asked for a better person to come in and fill that spot. Ramon was a good friend of mine. He contributed so much to Wednesday 13 over the years, so to replace him was not a was not an easy thing to do. So we got really lucky when with Ashes here.
Now, speaking of catching up with past band members, you caught up. I saw in the on social media that you caught up with AC
Mhm.
Slade for the first time in a little while the other night
Mhm.
in memoriam
Mhm.
of Joey. How was it catching up with AC again?
That whole Joey celebration was just a great thing to be a part of, and just to see everybody again in the same room, and it was a good thing, to get on stage and to do that, and in honor of Joey, and play some of our old songs together and put our differences aside, and do that. It was just it was a lot of fun, and the crowd seemed to really dig that we did that. So I'm glad that that happened.
Now I know. I mean, when you lose someone that's close to you, it never. Sometimes the pain dulls a little bit, but I mean, your relationship with Joey, obviously a very important relationship, not only musically but also a very strong bonded friendship.
Mhm.
If there's one thing that you could turn around and if you could have one more conversation with Joey, what do you think it would be?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. I think about that dude. I mean, so much. There isn't a day I don't think about him, or I'm not reminded about him, or someone doesn't bring him up. And but it was he, because of him, I'm able to do this. He literally introduced me to the world, and so I'm forever grateful to him for this. So there's a million things I'd want to say. I don't know. I wish I could change what happened. I wish I would have responded back to him the last time we spoke, and just reached out because I didn't know what was going on. And so, yeah, there's a million things I think about, but doing this tour over the years and doing the Murder Dolls tribute and stuff, it's been as much fun as it's been to revisit those songs. It's been hard. I was telling my lady yesterday, I was like, that Joey show the other night was kind of an end to my tribute I've been doing for a while, because I need a little break from that. I've been having a memorial every night for my friend for 2 years, and it's heavy every night. And I'm watching people, so it's emotional. So I need a little closure on that. So this show this weekend was the closure on that. So I still speak about him, and not to say I won't do that, but I needed a little break from that. So people go, "Are you doing all a full Murder Doll set?" I'm like, "No, I need I need some time and I'm glad I got to do that, but it's been emotional. It hasn't been all fun. You know what I mean?
And it can't be, it really can't be. As you said, you had a bond with him, and you owe him so much for helping you to where you are today. I'm sure that you've
Yeah.
done it in your own way. I mean, again, going back to Gunfire 76 and even Frankenstein, uh,
Hmm.
you always had something very, very special about you. So
Thank you.
for that, I commend you. Now, before we wrap this one up, just a couple of quick questions for you. Your favourite Australian touring moment, what would that be?
Oh man, probably the first time, because it was so new to me, and we didn't, that was Murder Dolls. We didn't come here and go there and do a club show. We went and did a festival, so it was just like instantly in front of a lot of people. And I want to say that was probably the one of the we did maybe one or two one-off big shows, but not like a whole tour of that and hitting all the spots. So just seeing it for the first time, I guess, leaving winter and seeing it going straight to summer blew my mind for the first time. I didn't know that was possible. And because that's how it was. I think we were there in January, so it's we left the freezing cold, and it was like summertime, and it was just great to see the reaction. We were on all the television shows. We were hosting uh, radio show, television shows, and it was so much. Everybody wanted a piece of Murder Dolls and wanted a glimpse of Joey with that mask off. So we had all eyes on us everywhere. And I remember I was just talking about it today. Rolling Stone magazine in 2003, Australia only had Murder Dolls on the cover, like year wrap up, and it had us on the cover with a bunch of other people. And they changed that picture out everywhere else in the world.
Oh, wow.
They
Oh, there you
replaced us with
go.
like Red Hot Chili Peppers, but the Australia version of Rolling Stone magazine, we made the cover. So that's a milestone in my book. But they replaced it. I couldn't wait. I was like, we're finally on the cover of Rolling Stone, only in Australia. So still good.
Absolutely, still very good. And the last question for you: what's the strangest thing a fan has done to get your attention?
Oh man. I had someone walk onto my bus and hide in my bathroom one time,
Oh,
and I just kind of opened the bathroom like, "What's up?" They're like, "I just want to meet you." Okay. Uh, that was harmless. That was a long time ago. That was, but I'm sure I'm stumbling on a million crazy things, but that's the first one that pops in my head.
for sure. All right. Now, thank you again for your time. Thanks for again accommodating us a little bit earlier today.
No
Really looking
problem.
forward to the tour in November. Really looking forward to seeing the show and feeling the energy that you guys bring in a live show. Thank you again for your chat today, Wednesday. The tour with Kim Dracula starts November 17, goes all the way through to November 29. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you out here and rocking out with you. Thanks again for your time
Yep.
today, Wednesday.
Very soon. We'll see you soon.
See you. Thank you, mate.
All right.